back to Homegrown Passion. I'm Katy. Today's episode is all about building a hydroponic melon trellis system. It's perfect for your garden setup. And trust me, you're going to love to see what we're building. I'm super excited about this. We're building the system with T-posts and cattle panels because I need something strong and durable for my sweet hydroponic melons because those guys get heavy and I need something that can hold up the weight. So stay tuned. So at the farm supply store, picking up the panels I need for the trellis. Decided to get the cattle ones, which are 50 inches by 16 feet long. Now I just need to figure out how to get 10 of these guys onto the trailer. So the panels are on the trailer. The young man from the store came out and helped me. I have everything strapped down so it won't move, but luckily I only have about 20 miles to go to get back home. We're using stockade panels for extra durability. They're 16 feet long and 50 inches wide. Here are the heavy-duty T-posts we're using. Here's the major component you need to install fence posts. You can buy one or make one yourself. We're using T-post connectors to connect the panel to the T-posts. Well, I got it all laid out for my T-posts. I'm going to tie a string from this pin down to the one at the other end and the same for that side, and that'll be the edge of my trellis system. I'm going to put T-posts every 48 inches, and the reason I'm doing that is I want to be able to secure my cattle panels to the T-posts, and this will keep them nice and rigid. So let me tell you how I'm building this. There's going to be 60 inches in between the T-posts, so when I set the panels, they're going to bend over, and I'll have 60 inches to walk down, and I'm going to do it in 2 panel sections. So I'll have 2 panels, a space, and then another 2 panels. And in each one of those sections, I think I can get 3 or 4 grow bags on each side of the aisle. So I have 3 over here and 3 over here. And the vines usually grow about 12 feet for the melons that I'm doing. So it's going to grow right up on top. So that's going to be pretty cool looking at the end of the summer. So I'm using mason lines I used for the strawberry build. I think this is like the 4th or 5th time this has been reused. And I don't want to spray paint on the ground cover to show where my T-posts need to go. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and mark it here on the white line. Oops. So I'm going to get the line straight, and I don't want to cut it so I can still reuse the mason line, so I'm just going to wrap it around the pin. And looking down, I did lay the ground cover nice and straight because the line follows the mason line. So the best way to mark out my T-posts is I'm going to start with the center one because there's going to be 3 T-posts for each section, and the center one is where the 2 panels are going to butt up, so that one needs to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it on my string, and then I'm going to measure 48 inches this way for the end T-post and 48 inches that way for the other end. But since I want these panels to look nice and they're going to be up for quite a few years, I'm pulling square to make sure they're nice and perfect. If you're interested in my design, I'll put my measurements in the description down below. So let's start with the T-posts. They have to go about 18 inches into the ground. So I'm using a manual pounder, which is really reliable and easy to use. Well, somewhat easy. It takes a lot of muscle. But if you have a nice steady rhythm, the post goes down nice and easily. A little bit farther. Okay, that's a good workout. I'm done. So I'm going to make sure the post's going level. So I got a little level. And this guy looks like he needs to be pushed over a little bit. So I'll push him over. And let's check him this way. Oh, it's pretty level going that way. So I just have to pull it over as I pound it down in, and I'll have a nice straight post. So we got the first section of T-posts put in. Looks kind of cool, gives you an idea what it's going to look like. So I want to do my second section, and I want to have 3 feet in between each section of the trellis so I can walk in between. So I'm going to measure from this end post 3 feet and then another 4 feet to mark my center line. So I'm going to go 7 feet from here, mark a post at 7 foot, and then we'll do the 48 off of each side. Hey everyone, I want you to meet your new adventure companion. It's the Vevor 45 quart wheeled cooler. This thing is portable, can go anywhere. So if you're going to a barbecue or you're gardening or you're going off-grid camping, this cooler brings the chill and the convenience. This cooler holds up to 64 cans. That's right, 64 cans. Look how spacious that is. This cooler has such thick insulated walls, it keeps your ice frozen for up to 60 hours. And another cool feature of this cooler is it has a port so you can drain out the water when your ice does melt. No more trying to pick up the cooler and dump everything out when it's so heavy. The rubber seal on this cooler really keeps it sealed tight, and it has really good locking handles and cup holders. Not only does this cooler look rugged, it really is rugged. When it's time to move the cooler, It has really nice, comfortable handles. But the feature that I really like are the oversized wheels. These things go over grass, gravel, dirt, and with the elongated handle, it's easy to pull it through anything. And if you like us, always working hard, but playing even harder, this is a great cooler for you. But to be honest, this cooler is going in my car because I'm going to use it every time we go on vacation, along with the Vevor wagon that I just showed you guys a couple videos ago. It's going to be great for transporting everything back and forth to our room or our campsite, depending on what we're doing. So I'm going to leave a discount code down in the description. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment. Okay, there is 7 feet. Go down. Black my tape measure in place. Black mark on there. And there's our starting point. Okay, got the second set of marks measured out and put on the mason line. And I'm going to go ahead and put the middle one here. And I found a cool little trick. When I was pounding a couple of the posts in, they were hitting rocks and kind of twisting. So I took a pipe wrench, and then Doug finished pounding it in for me as I was holding the pipe wrench so the post would go in straight, because you want to make sure your panels line up nice and you don't want it all twisted like that. Bringing another bundle up. They're packaged 5 T-posts per bundle. So they're a little bit heavy, but not too bad. So we bought 3 bundles of T-posts for this project. And then we had another bundle in the barn, and I didn't realize they were a different size. But I do like the smaller 5-foot compared to the 6-foot posts. They're a lot easier for me to pound in. I don't have to lift the pounder up so high. This is way easier for me. I can lift the pounder a lot higher, let it drop down. Goes in a lot better. That's what happens when you're short. So I'm almost done pounding it in. I'm doing it right to the top of the flange. And it just disappeared, so that's how high I want it. Started doing this post, and you can see it's twisted. It's not totally parallel with the inside of the tunnel, so just take your pipe wrench and you just twist it a little bit and have somebody else pound it in, and it goes in straight. One other thing, we had a couple of inches rain over the past 2 days, and it's making this project a lot easier. Wouldn't want to be doing this in August during a drought. Couple more. Okay, that one's done. Well, the sun's gone away. Storms may be coming in, so we may have to finish it up tomorrow, but I want to get as many panels up as we can. And these are the ones that we bought from RKO. And they're not too heavy, so I can lift one at a time with Doug and get them into place. So to attach the panels to the T-posts, we're using T-post clips. And these things are a pain in the butt. You got to hook it on the one side, go around the back of the T-post, and then use pliers to hook it onto the panel. Oops, my glove gets caught. So I'm just going to put them kind of in place, and Doug's going to come back with the needle nose pliers and get them all tightened up like he did this one here. It looks nice and professional. Well, putting the panels up was way harder than pounding in the T-posts. They're not that heavy, but they're very springy. And so we carried them off the trailer down through the middle and bent them together. And we had to make sure they didn't spring out, because if they would have sprung out, we just put new plastic up on the side of the greenhouse and it would have hit the high tunnel. So we had to be super careful. So we put a couple up, and I'm trying to hold it in, and we're trying to walk, and it just wasn't working. So we ended up putting a strap between the two and holding it tight. And I was able then to lift up the panel and then to the arch, and then carry them each down and put them in place with the T-post hooks. And it worked out really well. So we have 6 panels in. I think it looks really cool. I think my melons are really going to love it out here. But I'm going to call it quits for today. It's hot and humid, so I'm going to finish up this project tomorrow. So we'll see you guys then. So that's it for the build. I'm going to do part 2 in another video where I bring the melons out, get them hooked onto the trellis system, and put the nutrient lines in so these guys can grow all summer long. And like always, please leave me questions, comments, and suggestions down below, and we'll see you guys for part 2.